You're listening to the Empty Nest Empires podcast, episode number 10. Okay, your nest is empty, or it will be within a few years. So now what? Whether you know it or not, we are building empires. Empires of faith, family, fun, fitness, and of course, finance. And those empires are the legacy we leave for our loved ones. I'm Tammy Romani, an empty nester mom, grandma, and entrepreneur with a vision for ever greater things in the years ahead. It's never too late, and there is no limit to what we can do. I'm so happy you're here. Now let's get to building. Wow, today we have just finished Thanksgiving, and we're in the thick of Black Friday weekend. Cyber Monday's coming up. Giving Tuesday is next week, and Thanksgiving was late this year if you're in the U.S., so we're all freaking out about our holiday decorations. So much going on right now. But let's talk about the things that you're not doing. Ooh, ouch. Maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. But, there's always an incident, an event that sparks this kind of conversation. Am I right? I made pies this week, and all I could think of was my mom made the best pie crust. How come I didn't learn this from her? I found her recipe. She actually wrote it down for me on a little card. It's nothing I couldn't Google. It was very basic, but the technique. Her crust was always perfect. Mine was too thick. Mine was too dry. Mine was too this. Mine was too that. Hers was always, people commented about her pie crust. Why was I too busy to learn that from her? This kind of brought to mind some other things that perhaps I didn't learn from her. I know my daughter and I have this conversation a lot now. And she often says, I wish Grandma was alive so that I could ask her this. And it's always, with her, a spiritual question. Because my mom, as you heard in the last episode, if you did not listen to that episode, would you go back and listen to it? I read a piece for you called Walking Mom Home that is, to this day, one of the best tributes I could have done for her. But there's so much that I could have learned, so much more I could have learned. And she lived to be 90. It's not like I didn't have time. It's not like I couldn't have set up a camera and just pushed record and let her talk. So I want to encourage you that once your family member is gone, you have all these things that you forgot to ask them. And none of us is guaranteed tomorrow, right? So I just want to have you think on this in the days ahead. With the holiday season in full swing now around the world, what can I learn from this person? What does this person do that I admire that I need to maybe ask about? That would be a really great question to ask. And I want to say it doesn't have to be your parents. Maybe you don't have a great relationship, or you won't be seeing your parents over the holidays, or they're gone already. I guarantee you still have people in your life that you need to approach, and you need to say, could you maybe teach that to me? You do this thing that I love watching you do. I admire it so much, and I think it's something I'd really like to learn. Could you even at least just describe for me how do you do this? Oh, you will see them. If it's something they love to do, you will see them absolutely open up to you and share this thing. Now, I saw a meme the other day, and it was a picture of a headstone. And on the back, it had a recipe. And the caption under the meme was, Mom always said we could only have this recipe over her dead body. And it just made me laugh so much because my husband's family, his mom's Italian, and she was an amazing Italian cook. And it took her until probably into her 80s before she would let go of that pasta recipe. And I remember thinking, oh, okay, I need to learn this. I'm in this family now. I also have a friend, and I never learned this from her. But we would go to her home, and she was a tremendous cook and a baker. And she would whip up a batch of the flakiest homemade biscuits that you have ever tasted. And I said to her, can I have the recipe? I need to make these. And she looked straight at me and said, no, I can't just give you the recipe. I have to teach you. Now that's what I'm talking about. She had a special way of doing it. Now, unfortunately, we never got that chance, and she passed away, and I still regret not having her personally teach me how to make those biscuits. But one of my best friends is her niece, and she knows the secret. So what do I need to do now? I need to go to her and say, would you teach me how to make Aunt Judy's biscuits? Because they're glorious. So this doesn't have to be recipes. Maybe your dad made these cute little birdhouses. My dad used to make clocks in his retirement years, and I have one. It doesn't work anymore. It's just a clock face on a tile, and I love it so much. That maybe I didn't aspire to learn, but still a treasure. But maybe you have kids who need to learn something from their grandparents. I'm talking adult kids. I mean, we are the empty nest crowd, or the high school kids. Encourage them. Plant it in their hearts that these are the legacies that we leave behind, that these are the things that carry on from generation to generation. These are the good things. We want to talk about breaking all the generational bad things, the curses, the bad behaviors, but find the good things. Find the happy things. Find the things that always give you a smile about that person. And like I said, it doesn't have to be your parents. It could be your parents, your grandparents. It could even be your own children. Maybe they have mastered something that you are in awe of their ability of doing. My son recently taught himself how to speed read, and he devours 2 to 3 books a week. And now I want him to teach that to me. So it could be anything. It could be your aunt or uncle. It could be a cousin. It could be anyone in your life, a friend, even a coworker. But let's think on these things. We have a legacy to leave. We are building empires. We're building empires in faith, finances, our health and fitness, our family, the fun that we have. Why don't we continue those empires and leave a legacy that really brings a smile when people think of us after we're gone? That's what legacy is about. I had so much fun yesterday at Thanksgiving when my daughter brought out the Pit game. Now, if you've never played Pit before, it is a stock market trading game. It probably was created after the stock market crash, the first one, the one, back in the day, the Depression era. And my son is like, I'm sure they created this to get people interested in the stock market again. It's a super fun game. It's very simple, but it's very loud. And we yell, we trade cards, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Come on, somebody, give me a trade. And we played that yesterday at Thanksgiving. Now, what that did for me was bring back childhood memories of holidays and just times in general, weekends, when we would play this game anytime the family got together. And I started telling stories about the time we played it when we were camping. And it was 10 o'clock, and in a campground, you have to be quiet at 10 o'clock. And we were trying desperately to play this game without making any noise. and we laughed so hard that we probably made more noise if we had just played it like it should be played. But those are the things that come up when you bring in legacy into the conversation. That game, I realized, has been played for now 3 generations in my family, and we will also teach the next generation how to play that game. It was such fun, and it just, I could see in my mind my parents playing it, and my cousins and my aunts, and it just brought me so much joy. That's what I want for you. So this is short and sweet. It's Cyber Weekend. It's Black Friday weekend. You're out there shopping. But if you took 10 minutes to listen to this, would you make a conscious effort to reach out to somebody that has something you admire and ask them to tell you about it, either tell you the story or teach you that thing? You'll be better for it, and the legacy and the empire will continue. So thanks so much for spending these few minutes with me today. Like I said, short and sweet, but really profound and important. I hope that this meant something to you, that this sparked something in you. Would you let me know? I would love to hear a review of this episode. I would love to see you send me a DM on Instagram. Tell me that you heard it, and let me know who you are going to be contacting and asking them to teach you something or tell you a story so that you can continue their legacy. Let me know who that is, okay? And have a great start to your big holiday season. December is minutes away. Let's make the most of it. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.